Hey guys, welcome back to Puff It Louder, and welcome back to Steam Prison, where we are still with Adage, and we just got back from a wonderful day of shopping and being his wife. I don't know if he's gonna continue to refer to us as his wife or not, but we'll see how it goes. He, again, I must reiterate, is 8 years older than us, and as an 18-year-old, that's a little weird. I mean, like, I, at my ripe old age of 25, El Creepo's age, like, I wouldn't date somebody who is 18, personally, because they're, like, literally just out of high school. Like, in this case, Creamu's, like, I don't know, a police officer or whatever, and she's kind of got her life together, but, again, so young. Like, it just feels not, it just doesn't feel right to me. Whatever, I'm not gonna ruin the romance for anybody else. Let's just get started. We had a simple meal from the market and returned home. We bought so many things. I also like how we went and got food from the market because Adage is such a bad cook. I put 2 large bags of supplies down on the table and took a deep breath. Adage put down the supplies he was carrying as well and sighed. But it's odd. I don't understand why you have so much money. Oh, that's fantastic.
冗談だ。生身の人間はともかく死体の臓器に価値はない。答えは医者だからだ。
Wow. But you're a doctor. Very strange. Haven't seen you treat very many people since I became your assistant. I saw only a few patients come and go while I plucked weeds. Only a handful of people came. I'm surprised you can live off that.
問題ない。俺の主収入は外科医、保護地区外の金持ちの診療だからな。
Oh, so he's literally just like making money off El Creepo is really what it is.
医療技術や医者の質は上界の方が優れているらしく、大金を払ってでもかかりたいという患者が多いんだ。
Wow.
そういった金持ちから大金をもらいつつ、保護地区の奴らからは気持ち程度の診察料をいただく。それが俺のやり方だ。
I see. You're a nice doctor when you're here in the sanctuary district. But not a lot of patients actually come to you from the sanctuary district, do they?
バカ。殺到しないためにこんな遠い場所に住んでるんだ。多く押しかけられても困る。親切なお医者様は保護地区では俺くらいだからな。知る人ぞ知るでいいんだ。
He began to fill a cupboard with food supplies. I hurried over and helped.
気が利くな。
Of course, I'm your... I couldn't go on. It was too difficult to say.
助手。ここではあんたは助手だ。
Oh, right. Yes, your assistant. I looked at Adage as he put the supplies away and thought about the concept of marriage. In the Heights, I was always thinking about how someone... Let me restart that. In the Heights, I was always thinking about how to dodge marriage, so I'm just so confused. We ate. In silence. I was still thinking about marriage. And just as before, I didn't know what this meant for me. I simply felt vague unease. I regretted that I'd never talked to my mother about what it meant to be married. I'll have to ask about things I don't know. Adage, may I ask you something?
なんだ?
I looked at him slowly eating his stew and spoke slowly. Wait, I ate already. Why am I eating again? I don't know. Whatever, we'll just eat. What do married people do exactly? Oh no, he's choking to death! Are you okay?
喉、水。
Adage had already drained his cup. I passed him mine.
驚いた。変なことを聞かれた気がするが、気のせいか。
I don't think that was that weird of a question to, like, warrant such a response. I bet you if I asked someone like, oh, like, what do you think of marriage? They're not gonna be like choking on their water and stuff unless he's a huge pervert, which, well, yeah, he could be because he read all of those like illegal books, right? I don't know. Was it weird? I don't see how. I just asked about marriage. Adage, what is it that makes married people married? What do they do?
俺に聞くのか?
Yes. Yes, I only have you to ask. And it was you who told me that we're married.
確かに。だが偽りの関係だ。知る必要はないだろう。
But that's exactly why I need to know. I need to understand a real marriage so I can play at a false one.
正しい知識な。
You don't know?
知っている。けどその。あんたがどういう反応するか目に見えているから言いづらい。
Is he literally only going to talk about the sex talk and not talk about, like, anything else that pertains to marriage? I mean, I don't know, like, taxes or whatever. The other things must, like, happen. I don't know, it's not just that or whatever. But, please, tell me. I asked the question and I can accept the truth.
エロいことだ。
Ugh, I knew it. Huh?
とんでもなく、エロいことだ。
Lewd. Lewd in what way exactly?
はあ。お貴族様はそこから説明しないといけないのか。
What does my nobility have to do with it?
さあな。あんたが無知なだけかもしれない。
Oof.
あんた、学生の時エロ本とか読まなかったのか。
Whoa! No! What are those?
乱りがわしい本だ。当然発禁物だ。読めば法律違反だな。
So what we're learning is that he's read these. He's read all of these. Outlawed books? Of course I didn't. You must have been a delinquent in school.
別に。俺の周りじゃ普通だったけどな。
What school did you go to? Like, when I grew up, I didn't have porn books. Like, what?
とにかくその、夫婦ってのは、わいせつなことをするんだ。あ、わいせつはわかるか？
Now this is like a dad, like a father giving their child the sex talk. It's just so awkward. Yes, I do.
本当か？
Yes, I arrested a few men on obscenity charges for baring their lower body.
ああ、それもわいせつか。間違っちゃいないが。あんたって極端だな。疲れる。
It wears you out? Don't give up, please. I want to know.
よし。簡潔に言ってやる。性交渉して子作りをする。それが夫婦だ。
Okay. Sex. We're going to have sex?
しない。偽りの関係だって言っただろう。鳥頭か。
So, I'm like, I don't understand how she doesn't know what people do in marriage, but she knows what sex is. Like, how, okay, whatever. Moving on. I'm sorry. But that's good. I have no knowledge about any of that, so I wouldn't know what to do if you desired me.
求めないから安心しろ。あんたみたいなガキに欲情はしない。
Well, that's disgusting.
とにかく、夫婦ってのはそういう関係だ。周囲にもそう見られるだろうから覚悟しろ。
Okay.
本当にちゃんと理解しているか？
If you really want to know, then no, not really. But I understand the gist of it.
なんとなく、な。あんたって厳重な箱に入って育てられたんだな。
Ugh. You know, I like Adage as a person, but for Krimu,
実際あんたと結婚したら大変そうだ。
Oh, wow, so rude! Adage sighed and opened one of the cupboards.
あった。あんたにこれをやるよ。
What's this?
料理本。下界へ来て自炊をするために買った本だ。
Oh, okay. See, I hate this flip-flopping. He's like, I would hate to be married to you, and then now he's like, here's a gift from me. Adage, if you have a cookbook, then why is your cooking so bad?
うるさい。言っただろ。味には興味ないと。俺は栄養を摂取できれば何だっていい。だが、あんたは味にうるさいからな。それをよく読んで勉強しろ。俺の料理が食べたくなかったら、作れるようになれ。
Alright. Thank you, Adage.
どういたしまして。俺はここで調剤する。あんたは先に寝ろ。
Alright. Good night, Adage.
ああ、おやすみ。あいつ、うぶすぎだろ。10代の女ってあんなんだったか。
See, this is not a conversation that you should be having. Where you're just like, man, like, she's so clueless. Was I like that when I was a teenager? Like, how old, you sound like you're 20 years older than her. I don't know. Blah, blah. A cookbook. Perhaps I'd be able to escape my waiting duties if I mastered cooking. But I was probably going to have to do both. Being able to increase my workload sounded like a thrilling prospect to me. I sat down on the sofa and put the book on my lap. It was old and the writing on the binding was illegible, but it held together well. I was confident I'd be able to read the contents too. Good, it's written in the script of the Heights. I wanted to start reading immediately and opened the heavy cover. Wow, the first recipe was scrambled eggs. The instructions were clear and simple, but the margins were still filled with a large amount of handwritten notes. I checked the next recipes. All the margins were filled with handwritten comments. I've seen this handwriting before. It's Adage's handwriting. Oh my god! So he just sucks at cooking? He just can't get, even following the recipe, he can't get the flavor right? Oh. I'd seen it a lot in the medical room. If he's such a diligent learner, then why is the taste so bad? Or was his cooking the end result of the self-improvement he'd already done? Either way, I was impressed by the amount of work he'd invested. Listen, like Ratatouille, anyone can cook. I feel like it's pretty simple once you, get into the swing of things. You just gotta practice a lot. I've inherited the fruits of all his research into cooking. I hope I can make him nice food one day. I decided to close the book for now and put it into the basket where my bed sheets were kept, taking the sheets out to make my bed. I want to make him happy with good cooking. After all, Adage is my husband? Oh, just saying it out loud is enough to make me blush. I was disappointed in myself and pulled the sheets over my face. We're just acting like we're married for the others. I'm his assistant. Yes, I'm his assistant. I told myself that a few more times to calm myself down. I was able to talk a lot with him today. What had surprised me was that he had read so many forbidden books in his youth. Yeah, I don't know if we want to get into that. I had taken him for more of a no-nonsense kind of man. I wonder why he was exiled to the depths. He had told me it had to do with his job as a doctor, but that didn't help me at all. Murder, fraud, robbery, obscenity? None of these fit Adage's character. I had to pause and think about the last one, but it was too outrageous for him. The last crime, it might be, is unlawful love. Adage had known a lot about unregulated love. It had also been his idea to be a married couple. It made sense. But who was he in love with? Oh, that would suck. That's, really sad. I felt bad for Raylith, but I'd feel even worse for Adage, because he's clearly alone. So, I don't know. It was rare that only one person was accused of unlawful love. I thought back upon my time as a police officer. Usually, a man and a woman had been sentenced together. He must have a partner, or had a partner. I can't tell. My theories were based on zero evidence. On the other hand, I can't ask him either. I don't have the courage for that. I also thought of crazy theory. What if Raylith was his lover and he left her? I don't know. I don't think that's possible. I think he's too nice of a person. Plus, it didn't seem like he recognized her, but that would be wild. That would be like, oh my god. Anyway, but the idea that he had a partner still makes me feel fuzzy. I sighed in the darkness. Well, I shouldn't brood on it. It didn't seem like Adage wanted to discuss the heights. He probably didn't want to talk about his crime either. Everyone has things they don't want to talk about. It wasn't good to poke for them. What's important isn't the past. It's the present and the future. Krimu sighed so much during this playthrough of Adage's, like, path. I don't know. I decided I didn't want to ponder a past I knew little about, but that I had to trust Adage. That was surely the right path for me. Path. I don't know why I keep saying things weird. Oh, wow. Night turns to day, I suppose. My workload began to increase after the next day. During the day, I tended to the vegetable garden, and at night, I helped Adage around the house. Whenever I had time, I practiced cooking. Even cutting up the ingredients was difficult for me. The taste wasn't there either. I'm surprised that they're making cooking sound so difficult, but she knows how to use a sword. Cutting things is her specialty. Ugh. Still, I felt like I was slowly becoming a better cook. Adage began to leave the house without me from time to time. That wasn't especially remarkable. He had always worked alone, after all. Every once in a while, injured or sick patients came to us to be treated. When he left the house without me, I was in charge of it. I wouldn't have been able to help him if I had accompanied him anyway. It's clearly best for me to remain behind. I know it's the best solution, but I wondered why I felt so lonely while he was gone. Because you're the only person in the house? Like, no, I shouldn't think about it. I need to attend to my chores around the house. Yes, this looks good. Once I was comfortable with gardening, I began to grow vegetables in the garden. They were just small tomatoes, though. I need to start pruning them if I want them to grow properly, which I should keep... Something moved through the undergrowth. It was a lizard. The vile beast was watching me. No, I don't think it's really watching me, but I certainly felt like it was looking at me, and that made me nervous. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I still don't like them. The occasional flickers of its red tongue freaked me out.
へえ、意外ですね。
Who's this?
君がトカゲが苦手だなんて驚きです。
What are you doing here? Glissade.
お久しぶりです。
Is it Glissade or Glissade? Whatever. I stood up and walked over to meet him. Yes, you look well.
それはこちらのセリフです。血行が良いようで肌も艶やかで美しいですね。
Ew, that's a creepy thing to say. Your blood flow looks so good right now. What? Thank you. What brings you here?
君の様子を見に来たんですよ。
You knew that I was here? What the On me?
ええ。最近めっきり見かけなくなりましたので、死んでしまったのではないかといささか心配していたんです。
buddy.
先日郊外に住んでいると風の噂で耳にしまして、用事のついでにこちらへ来てみた次第です。
This is an hour away, my guy. What in the hell? A rumor.
はい。とはいえ、お住まいを明確に知ったわけではありませんので、こうして出会えてよかったです。
God, Kramer, you should have just stayed in the house. I see. Thank you for stopping by. A rumor. I wonder who spread it.
そうだ。
Oh, it's probably
よけれ
Enos.
ばなのですが。
It was probably Enos, because he saw us, right?
血液を採取させていただけませんか？
What the fuck? No wonder he was like, oh, the blood flowing within you looks so delicious. Not delicious, but maybe he's a vampire. I don't know. A blood sample?
はい。君の健康状態を知っておきたいんです。薬の配給時に姿を見かけませんので心配で。
Didn't Adage say something about the medicine? I don't remember. Oh, that reminds me. I completely forgot about the medicine. But as you can see, I'm very healthy.
それは見た目だけかもしれませんよ。ああいった病気は突然発症して 突然亡くなるものですから。
What the fuck?
私は医師です。救える命は救いたいので。
I wish that Adage was here. Like, Krimu should honestly just be like, hey, I'm with the doctor right now. Like, I'm fine. Glissade. Save any life I can. That was much like Adage. Perhaps all doctors live by that creed. Alright, please collect your blood sample.
ありがとうございます。すぐに済みますから、そのままで。
So did you just bring, like, needles and stuff, and you saw me, like, by chance, and you're like, actually, I would love to take a blood sample from you? Like, what? Okay, well, I guess we're gonna just stop here. I'm confused as to why he, first of all, traveled an hour. I mean, he was just like, oh, I was in the area, but I don't know. I just don't trust this guy, because I feel like it's really weird that he was just, like, just in the area, quote unquote, and like saying that my blood flow looked good and he wants to take a blood sample, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't see why Krimu isn't saying, hey, I'm with the doctor and I'm perfectly healthy. Like, I don't know about y'all, but doctors I've met haven't been like, oh, you look so healthy, let me take a blood sample from you. Maybe I just don't know anything about being a doctor, but next episode we'll get our blood taken out of us by this vampire thing dude who looks like Edna Mode.